Hey everybody, welcome into this next game. We are going to be having a grand old time. We are spawning directly on top of Creator.Prime. I will warn you right now, guys, I'm going to be speaking a little bit quieter this game around. My throat is absolutely destroyed. I've been casting 18 hours. I think I'm literally on the 18th hour something like that. Something ridiculous like that now in 3 days. And yesterday especially, I was going nuts. I was screaming so much. Was in... I'm now in pain, so I'm literally gonna be forced to stop after this cast because I literally am unfortunately unable to continue. Like literally, I feel like it could actually harm my voice and really hurt me to continue. So I'm going to be stopping after this particular series. We got I.M.First, who's going to be the Protoss in the top right. Hopefully, you guys can still hear me. Actually, I'll turn the volume a little bit on the exploit and everything, so it should still be pretty decent sounding, I hope. Plus, with the new computer and all that, I'm able to actually bump up the quality a little bit, so hopefully it should still be alright. I hope you guys are going to be able to enjoy this even with my muted casting, because we're actually on GSL Metropolis for the first time. Really, I think it's almost this entire TSL. I think we maybe got one or two other games on it in total. But this is gonna be really fun to see a PvP on this map. Personally, I think we got the best possible spawns for this, even better than going for the cross spawns, because this leads into really interesting early game dynamics where warp prisms can be super effective, and also with the expansions, they're guaranteed to always go away from each other, which can lead to amazing late game situations where motherships, carriers, or colossi and everything can come in. And to be honest, guys, carriers are really underused in PvP. They're actually very strong and a great way to finish off your opponent. If you can get to a carrier, archon, mothership, void rate mix, I honestly don't think there's much in the game that can kill that in terms of PvP. It can be very, very difficult. But one of the big things to also mix in is also High Templars, because High Templars can really be used more in PvP. Because Psystorm, yeah, Psystorm's not the best in PvP, but guess what? When you get to the later parts of the game, you need to be able to feedback the mothership. A really important thing to remember is that feedback only takes away... feedback takes away it all. Yeah, feedback takes away... It's EMP that takes away... Never mind, that's just me being tired and fatigued. But PvP, feedback is incredibly powerful at shutting down the mothership. But look at this, we do see Creator.Prime is doing 2 guys in each of his gases. He's going to be able to get a couple more gateways out and possibly even expand with this type of play, or just put on a little bit of gateway pressure, not too much. But looks like we are not going to be seeing 4 gates out of either player, I don't think, because we do have the assimilators down for both of them. The only thing is that now 5 guys in this one. Is he rallied? Yeah, he's going to be rallied to that. There goes 3 and 3. So everything is split up nicely. This probe actually took 2 shots from that Zealot, unfortunately, and I'm kind of surprised. Creator could just box those guys at A moved, and he would have been able to get a guaranteed kill on that probe. But this Sentry is going to not be able to accomplish too much. It moves too slowly. So First is now moving around. He should be getting his Stalker out shortly, and now we gotta watch out for what their plans are going to be. Are we going to see Nexa, or are we going to see anything else in terms of tech? Looks like actually, we got a Stargate out here for First. So Stargate's going to come out, which means we may be seeing a big Phoenix all-in from First. Phoenix macro play in PvP is incredibly risky. If you go for a Phoenix play and you try and play a macro game, it usually comes out in the fact that your opponent gets an expansion, and if they do, they're always ahead in economy. Even if you kill off a dozen probes, they're still going to be ahead of you in probes, because your natural is so delayed and you're so weak in real mass engagements, because Phoenixes can only lift up a certain amount of times. That energy is going to be really, really important, and if you're using that energy for harassing the probe line, your Phoenixes will not be able to use that energy for direct engagements, and it can really lead to a bad situation. However, as far as the late game follow-ups go, the Phoenixes are beautiful. If your opponent is passive at the start of the game, your Phoenix play can end up leading to you in one of the best possible counters in the entire game. Adding 4 or 5 Phoenixes into any army, no matter the matchup, is incredibly powerful. But what it allows you to do is just, if you're going to be winning an engagement and you still have the Phoenixes left over, any retreating units, you can lift them off and you can kill them very easily. You can easily go ahead, then move into your opponent's bases and just harass them and kill half a dozen probes. And it is an amazing way to continue the pressure and always have your opponent feeling like they cannot move out. There's a big psychological advantage to being able to go Phoenixes within a PvP. So there we go. We have 2 Phoenixes now out in the field, 3rd one on the way. This will serve to scout as well as just probably take off a guy from the gas when they're moving in. But it looks like just a scout. Just going to see the gateways, and I believe they were able to just see the yeah, they saw the robo. But this natural has also been seen because there's a probe that ran by over there. And the thing is, I don't think that was actually noticed by Creator because he's moving around here and basically worried more about the Phoenix harassment than he is about the fact that the probe is actually in there. And we should be able to see liftoff. He's not lifting off. Oh, yeah, that's why. He's going to go for a big push with these guys. He's going to lift off all the sentries immediately. And now we've got Zealous and Stalkers engaging. We have Creator trying to get a pylon down there, but why is First throwing down his own pylon? You get a pylon inside this area that'll be massively strong, but there's a Guardian Shield going down, but if Immortal is out, that's when he needs to get lifted, but there's not enough energy on these Phoenixes to lift off the Immortal, and with that Immortal in play and no Zealotson, First is going to have to be really careful in how he engages. I have to be really careful in how I speak. So stop watching these guys engage. These Phoenixes do not have any more energy to lift off. If they can lift off this Immortal, it might end up being GG, but this Immortal is just doing too much damage. There we see getting picked off. Really nice micro by First to continue putting on the pressure, but Creator does have the 2-base kind of economy going on. He's now lost a bunch of pros, but he's got another Immortal out, and I don't think First can continue engaging. There's a sentry here. Without that getting lifted off, there's going to be a force field down there, but there we're going to see liftoff on top of that Immortal. That's going to be massively important, but the Stalker count is still pretty much even, and there we have the Phoenixes getting taken care of. This one is still alive, and no more Phoenixes are being made, and there's still no natural from First. He's very much going all in with this. That was the point I was going to be finishing making. I talked about the macro game of PvP with Phoenixes, but when you go for this all-in type of play, it can be very strong when you lift up the Immortals and whatnot. But the fact that there are so many Stalkers and First never got the proxy pylon over here to get Zealous immediately into the battle is really actually hurting his strength in this engagement. So now he's going to be sieging up against this area. We do have a sentry. He might be able to get a guaranteed kill on this Nexus if he can time this force field. Oh, look at Creator. He's trying to bait the force field out because he knows that Phoenix can see the high ground. And so if he can bait the force field, he might be able to get out in time to save the Nexus, but I don't think he's going to be able to. We're going to see this get focused down. We have a warping on the low ground with those Zealots, but this is going to be a dead expansion. The force field, there's a second one actually got under there. Unless it's just really good timing on that one. But now we're going to see the retreating going down, and looks like we're seeing a Robo getting called down by First. We might have a re-expand by Creator, but with First going for this Robo, he's showing that he really kind of just wants to continue being aggressive and safe. Last thing he wants to do is lose to just a counterattack by Creator because Phoenixes are no longer existing. And if you look at the units lost tab, it's really just lost the Nexus that actually made First make this trade kind of beneficial for him. And with that kind of beneficial trade, it's going to be really hard for these guys to go into a really hardcore macro game. Because both these players have not done too much. And we have the Phoenix, once again, scouting around. Not going to see too much. There's no robotic spay down or anything. And let me a second to breathe. My throat is killing me. Alright, this is probably literally my most physically painful cast ever. So we've got Phoenix continuing to go ahead and do some harassment going down. There's not much harassment that actually be done because it's a lone Phoenix, and Creator is still not feeling comfortable enough to throw down any kind of Immortals into this play. But this Nexus is actually the natural for First, a little bit behind that of Creator's, but considering that he killed an expansion already and did some good economic harassment, you see how he's already ahead in the probes, and actually has been for a fair bit. I mean, 9 workers killed is pretty significant. But if you run around here and take a look at this base, we do have a robotics bay on the way for Creator, and if we take a look at the base of First, a robotics bay is coming down as well. So we're going to about to get into the mutual Colossus Wars, but the thing is, as far as the transition into the late game goes, First actually has a really big advantage in already having a Stargate in play. He's only a fleet beacon and a couple hundred minerals in gas to getting a mothership out in the field, and as far as battles go, if you can get a Vortex against your opponent in PvP, it's almost just GG right there, especially if you can get it into Archons, get it in a lot of other units, and really engage in the nice, strong positioning. As you can get some shots off before the Vortex sucks up all your opponent's units, you get to split their army in half, and you get to just destroy everything with Colossus Splash and Archon Splash. It's incredibly effective, but this Phoenix has done an amazing job of scouting, just keeping track of everything. And by the way, First still has a probe, and oh no, don't leave Creator. Creator. Move left. Creator. Okay, well, apparently he's not gonna. That probe is somehow still alive. Actually, there's 2 idle probes. There's actually one there, and then there's gonna be there's the other one that was building those gases, but is no longer idle. And Creator moved out of the way and did not get that probe. I'm kind of surprised we're not just seeing DT tech being made by First, considering the fact that he's got a probe over here, and it's so odd that Creator hasn't gone over and just thrown down a proxy pylon down here, because you got to even be aware of pylons on this low ground, especially when there's Phoenix vision to go ahead and look at the high ground and allow for warpins and there to harass. That can be really, really important. There we see a little bit of a scouting in the front from First. He sees the Colossus and he knows exactly what the state of this game really is. The extended thermal lance has been started by both of these players, and it looks like a War Prism is now going to do an immortal drop coming down here against Creator. That's going to be great, and oh my god, this robotics bay is so vulnerable, and Creator's pushing at the worst possible time. Is he going to go for the robotics bay, or is he going to go for a probes? Looks like he's going to go ahead and start hitting the probes. There we go. Probe bombs getting assaulted. Go after the robotics bay, please. This entire army is being thrown back, and this is the most vulnerable robotics bay ever. Oh, he's going to kill off the pylon, I think. I guess pylon's guaranteed damage, and there we see him pushing back. He does get a couple of shots off there, nice there, and those immortals are fully healed still. I think they even still have the majority of their shields as well. So very nice drop there. Colossus now coming in from First, but the harassment that First been able to do has been pretty consistent. 15 probes killed so far, and Creator is still behind in the probe count, which is really, really important. But looks like the probe finally got handled, unless it just went somewhere else and escaped. I don't really know. There's a Phoenix still running around the field, but this immortal drop looking like it very well may continue. I think we saw, yeah, he actually has the upgrade for his graviton. No, it's not graviton. What is it called? Graviton boosters? I think graviton boosters is the way it is. I hope. But ooh, this actually. Oh, Stalker. That does nope. Not gonna be able to kill off the Phoenix. Close, just 3 more shots away, but there we have attack going into the death of the Stalker down there. It's a nice little pickoff. Creator has been ahead in the food count, but this War Prism harass has been rather effective. Even though it's lost a fair amount of its shields, we can see overall Creator has been losing a lot more, but this is a scary push that's coming out on the field against Creator. Against First, but for Creator. But First does have Colossi here. They have the extended thermal lance. 3 Colossi against 3 Colossi. It's going to come all the way down to a few things, but to be honest, this War Prism and the Immortals in is going to give a huge advantage to First in the battle. You can see there's Immortal out, but it's a single Immortal already damaged, but we're going to see actually a third base going down for Creator. So he's going to continue going for the trend of being a very, very economic player in this PvP so far. But with the robotics bay not getting any real upgrades, it's actually better to not get observer speed, because you don't want it to run into the other people. But oh, we're going to see, nope, not a drop. There is no blink yet for Creator. He is researching it though. Where is that Twilight Council? Anyway, there it is. We see the blink is now done and the charge is now on the way. And that blink would, if it takes down this this War Prism, that'd be massively bad. And looks like Creator is going to go ahead and move along and just try and work on killing off this probe. He lifts it up with the Graviton beam, and now we're going to see the Immortals probably drop down to take it out, and there it is. The probe gets shot and destroyed. So we're going to see that nice denying of the scouting. Creator is not going to be able to get any vision, does not know this third base is on the way. So he may think he's in a good economic position, but to be honest, he's about to be hit by 5 Colossi. He's got 4 Colossi. He's about to get his 5th one. He probably won't be out in time, but Proxy Pylon is on the field. Actually, I think Creator just saw it, and yeah, there it is. That's going to be a dead Pylon. It does fall prey, but look at the War Prism coming in to start attacking this third base. If it can kill off this, actually, you should probably take out this Pylon. It's highly doubtful that you'd be able to kill off this Nexus, but there we see a warping, a defensive warping down there, and oh no, the War Prism actually looking like it may go ahead and fall. Pretend there's excitement in my voice. It really, really hurts. And there we have the Immortals actually continuing to attack down there against a good, healthy force of Stalkers. We see him coming forward, and we should be able to see this. Oh my god, it gets picked off. Ow, that hurt. And it gets picked off, and that's it hurt both because the Immortal went down, and my throat is dead. But all the Stalkers are going to continue moving down here for First. They're going to be able to, they don't have Blink, but they should still be able to be very, very, very annoying. And there we see the death of that probe, the scouting probe. Creator's barely behind in terms of workers. The incomes are basically identical, but First is going to be able to actually start mining from that third a little bit more efficiently, a little bit faster. That might give him a slight edge in terms of income. Yeah, slight edge. He keeps getting the 15, while it's mostly 14, 13 for Creator. It's a very small lead, but it's definitely worth noting, because those small leads in mirror matchups can end up snowballing into massively important things. Alright, so we actually are looking at a Templar Archives and a Dark Shrine going down, so we will be having Archons on the way, with a possibility of them coming from either the DTs or the High Templar. Sometimes it's better to actually spend the extra minerals on using DTs than it is to actually go for the technically cheaper High Templar morphing into the Archons. Looks like Creator's going to finally maybe be able to get this scout. Oh, you know what? Nope, that's a dead probe. It's still not like a scout. We have a fourth base now coming out from first. I'm waiting for him to start getting a fleet beacon out to work on getting out a mothership. Once again, a Stargate has been around this entire game, but he's not doing too much for anything except getting charge and his attack upgrade level 2. As far as upgrades go for Creator, I haven't seen a forge from him. Oh, there's a forge, but oh, here we have DTs coming in. They have that +1 attack, and it's going to be really nice because it's guaranteed no matter what to kill off those probes. Although it's actually no, it's just SCVs that don't get killed if there's an armor upgrade or anything. But now we're going to have the pylon starting to get assaulted. We have a pylon over here ready to warp in some more DTs down there. We now have all the probes from Creator. He's actually just pulling everything. He doesn't quite know where the DTs are. But actually, this is a Colossus that could fall to the DTs. That'd be a really devastating attack. There's a cannon being made down there. And we're going to have this Amoral going to go looping, and that's going to be a really important pickoff to get that Colossus down, and we're going to see the DT actually manages to get saved. Really nice use of this warp prism. DTs are not being warped in down over here, but we are going to have the probes coming back, and that does bring Creator.Prime's probe count down to that. But look at this, 30 probes been killed so far. First, he's doing an amazing job of just harassing everything to death, and now we're having a ton more gateways moving along. Creator does have his +2 attacks. So that's a really nice thing for him. The problem is it's not giving him any kind of a lead because First has his there as well. Now it's looking like it may come down to the spread. We have a lot of Colossi out for both players, but there's a 2 Colossus lead out for First. That's pretty significant, especially if you can spread them nicely. And he's got a proxy pylon here waiting to go ahead and start doing some harassment, because if he hits this left side, this cannon will do nothing. It'll provide a little bit of vision, but it'll only detect the DT around the right side of this base in terms of the minerals and all that. There's this fourth base from First. That's actually a really significant advantage for him, because the longer he delays, the better position he will be. And I'm shocked to think that he hasn't gone for a mothership. It'd be so simple just to get that out. You can see how he's not even maxed out. He's kind of in the position of waiting to need to warp in something or build something to be in a more necessarily beneficial spot. But now we're watching, we're seeing him pushing in. Looks like we're going to have the final engagement. Theoretically, if we can see a decisive victory on one side, Charles are going in for Creator. First does have a whole lot of Colossi out. This extra Colossus lead is going to be massively important. We have a blink over here from the Stalkers, but getting surrounded immediately by Zealous. And you know what? First is that lost a single Colossus. Immortals are pushing forward, but they're going to get completely overrun. The Colossus are not falling. All of a sudden, First is looking like he should be taking a decisive victory. GG, without a single Colossus of his moving down. And my God, oh, my throat is dead. Ow. So we're going to keep this short. Death to Creator, victory to First. Really nice, solid PvP. Very sound. And the Phoenix play to start was incredibly impressive down there. As I think actually Hoppy just mentioned. Let me see what he was saying. Let me just quickly take this away because I'm on Skype called myself. All right. Okay, so that's going to be about it. We are going to be, I think it's going to be basically, I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to run a couple commercials, talk to you guys for a couple minutes, and then we're going to be, I'm going to go watch the semifinals and everything. I believe TL should be live at the very least shortly, if not already. Yeah, already they're live. I'm going to quickly take myself away from the TL, calendar because I'm no longer actually technically casting anything. So there we go, no event. Alright, so I've now removed myself from the calendar, so no possible